At tragic times like these, it's often helpful to get some expertise from a mental health professional.
It absolutely is. Just to process all of this, we are joined now by Jennifer Kowalkowski, a psychologist with Corwell Health. Jennifer, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So we know that this is a very heavy situation, really, for so many different people. What kind of trauma would you say that they're processing right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a wide variety of emotions that people have. Numbness, some people grief, panic, fear. And you know, it doesn't really matter how close you are necessarily, because I think even people watching this from their own communities are affected. And obviously, as you get closer, you know, there's a lot more emotions that people can be experiencing.
When it comes to the survivors or perhaps family members, friends, what is the right thing to say to someone who's been with this? It may sound like an overly simple question, but as you know more than most, it's very complicated. It's very easy to say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
With a good heart.
Right, right. I think the most important thing is to validate that people are feeling a variety of ways. And, you know, I think the last thing that people want to hear right now is that everything's going to be okay, and that with time this is going to go away, because I think for a generation of youth that we have right now, they're on high alert. They're on high alert from the pandemic. They already weren't doing well mental health wise, and now, you know, every place that they go, everywhere that they turn, they're looking for exit signs, right? And where is the safest place, and being in large crowds makes me nervous, and now they have a school environment that's psychologically unsafe for them. So I think it's okay to say it's not okay, and it's okay not to be okay right now, and that, you know, that might just be the space that we allow them to be in, rather than trying to assure them that, you know, that you're gonna feel better tomorrow. And you know, I don't know that they are, and I think that that's okay.
So your feelings are valid.
Yeah.
Yeah. We unfortunately see this so often. It's becoming far too normal and repetitive, and a lot of times people will say, "I'm fine, it's okay." What are some signs that someone may be having a tough time with this, even if they're one of those people that is saying everything is okay?
Yeah. I mean, I think, again, people process in their own way, and today they might just need to compartmentalize and get through their job, right? There's teachers in classrooms that are teaching our students across, you know, this state, and I think that that's okay. But as they, you know, kind of carry on, and the next day they might notice things like trouble sleeping, not being able to concentrate as much, you know, maybe even appetite changes. And I think that that's the time to kind of check in on ourselves and our loved ones, and really say, you know, maybe we should be reaching out for a little bit more help, maybe some professional help. Let's, you know, get somewhere to talk to someone to be able to kind of help us move forward.
You know, something we've talked about a lot today, just unbelievably heavy. You have some people who survived the Oxford High School shooting. They were seniors when that happened, I believe, a year and a half ago, November. And now they've survived a second mass shooting. Doing what you do for a living, I mean, what comes to your mind for people who have now encountered this twice?
What certainly doesn't come to mind is, you know, this is never going to happen to you again, because I think they have proof that in our country this is happening so frequently that they might be, you know, in that space again. So, you know, how did they get psychological safety in a learning environment again, in a place that is supposed to be safe? So, you know, I think the validation of those emotions is most important, and to let everyone around them know that we need patience with them, right? So we need to support this individual as much as the family, to say they might not be ready for X, Y, and Z yet, and we're going to have to take it, you know, in terms of getting back into a classroom and feeling that support. You know, I think a lot of students and people, you know, they get a lot of good from being with other people. So the things like vigils and, you know, potlucks that the community has brought together to be able to have that grief and despair around others, we know that there's a lot of good evidence to say that those are helpful. So it might not just be showing signs of support, but I know that they're, you know, organizing in communities like Grosse Pointe and Clawson, that those are actually part of the healing process for a lot of people. And so really to encourage them to do anything that feels right, you know, as far as allowing them to express their emotions and talk with others.
An outlet. Yeah.
Sure. And I know with this shooter's neighbor, we just heard him say that chills went down his spine when he saw his picture on there. So in general terms, any signs that we need to look out for, just in case we know someone who maybe needs some help before we get to a situation like this?
Yeah, well, we always know that we're looking at people usually who who are feeling kind of outsiders, ostracized, maybe a victim of bullying, but people who aren't quite fitting in with the environment. And so, that's why it's so important for us to have mental health services in schools and be able to support, kids and teens kind of as they grow through, because we need to reach out and bring those people in, right? There's a whole science around the idea of belonging and how important it is for, for lots of different groups. But if folks feel like they belong to a community, to a group, I think that there's less chance of these things, happening.
Great. Jennifer, thank you so much. We appreciate your expertise and also sharing those thoughts and that insight with us.
Yeah, thank you.